Hello! What a special pleasure to have you back. So, I'm having here my espresso on my left hand, and I have some chocolate, which I probably can't eat while I'm talking to you. And I'm drawing here my wife's and my Drow priestesses of Eilistraee. Yeah, and I'm not playing a Drow priestess of Eilistraee because Eilistraee only accepts priestesses, and I wanted to play a priestess of Eilistraee. No, I actually thought it would be fun to play a female character, so that's more the reason for that. And I'm drawing them today because I am doing this picture for our new adventuring group. So, what I'm talking aside of that is something I stumbled upon several years, over 20 years already, if I'm thinking about it, and which helped me a lot as a dungeon master and as a game master. Dungeon master would be for Dungeons and Dragons if I interpret the English language correctly, and this also goes for the most other the most other any other genres. So it could be used for any role-playing game. So basically what we are talking today is good for any game master, and it is the hero's journey. The hero's journey is something that originates from a book by Joseph Campbell, and the book is in the English original. Let me look it up. The book is in the English original Hero with 1,000 Faces. So, and the hero's journey basically goes like this. There is a situation which is unbearable for one or several reasons. You need to kick the hero out of the door as a storyteller, as the dungeon master in this situation, to solve the problem, to solve the situation which makes the status quo unbearable. And in the classic legends, Joseph Campbell studied the hero often doesn't want to go on the quest and doesn't want to go on the journey, and they meet a mentor, Gandalf, Obi-Wan, you name it, who leads them out of the door. Then they go on their path, they have their tests, they have their challenges, they find enemies, and they find allies along the way. Those allies in the situation of role-playing can be the other players and their characters, and also other NPCs. After some tests, after some adventures, you, as the hero, reach the center of the problem. You have your biggest challenge, the lightsaber duel with Darth Vader, where he reveals that he is your father, and it has to go deep into the character of the hero. He has to be that much shaken from it that he deserves the reward he receives afterwards. You see, this translates exactly to the loot that you receive in Dungeons and Dragons after you have killed the monster. So this really goes hand in hand. And then you have the hero on the road back. This also translates to Dungeons and Dragons and every other role-playing game, where you just run back to the contractor and give them their stuff they requested, give a report, give the crown that you should search for, provide them with a princess that you should save. And yeah, they have their road back. They have solved the situation, and they leave the world better as they found it at the beginning of the story. So basically, this is Joe's, and this is the, I don't know, 3-minute version of a whole book. Hero with 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell is the book. If you want to read it, you should. I really can only recommend it. At least you should look up the hero's journey in Google and in Wikipedia. Always worth the thing. And how I think it helps with DMing, with dungeon mastering for your roleplay. I think it is this classical setup that you have a group of inexperienced nobodies with potential. You have one either noble or wizard or someone who guides them out of the house. As a dungeon master, I always like to provide my player characters with someone who doesn't solve their problems at all, but who helps them to find the first few answers, to get their step into the world. The tests, the alleys, you have quests, you provide them with monsters, with opportunities, with challenges, also with suffering. You, as a dungeon master, you not always can avoid that you have to kill a player character. So such stuff. And you need from time to time to conclude one part of the campaign. You need to conclude one plot arc. Some DMs I know like to do this in the way that they say, okay, we start at level 1, the first arc is until level 7, then the next is until level 12, and then 15, and so on. I personally prefer to have the story concluded when the story, the arc, is concluded, independent of the levels. And but you need that, and you need to provide them with a level up, which is not just from level 5 to level 6, but instead providing them. Critical Role did this before they even started. They received Castle Grayskull around level, I think level 10, maybe something around that. You can look it up at Amazon Prime. They have actually the animated show, which is great. And you need to lift up the characters after those ordeal, death and rebirth situations. And you need to show the players that they have an impact. So this is, I consider this as one of the most important things as a DM. You should provide your players with the feeling that what they do at the table has an impact on the world. So they are not just joining along the story like Indiana Jones in the first of his movies, and what happens would happen even if they are not there, but you show them after everything within one arc is done, within one campaign is done, they left the world better as they found it at the beginning. So, and this is my 9 minutes thought process around the hero's journey. I'm already at the end of this video. Maybe I talk in the next one about how to make an adventure. Until then, leave me a like if you like this. Leave me a comment if you have something to say. And if you would subscribe, we can more easily meet again. Until then, bye bye, bye bye.